Warning, despite the subject matter at the focus of these videos, my reviews are not intended for viewers under the age of 13, so if you're not of age, turn off the video now. Are they gone? Great, let's get to the intro already.
Previously on Power Rangers, an intergalactic criminal named Ryjack has joined forces with Evox so he can steal the weapons inside the Rangers' vault. To aid in his quest, Ryjack and his trusty Reanimizer have brought back villains the Rangers don't recognize for some reason, and the one guy that can help the Rangers, Captain Chaku, was immediately attacked by the team. But heroes can't fight each other forever, so they have joined forces to take down the evil Ryjack.
Thanks, Flit. That recap was longer than I expected, but you got all the major bullet points. Nothing for me to add, so let's go ahead and look at Power Rangers Beast Morphers, Episode 34, The Greater Good.
The Greater Good.
The episode opens with Captain Chaku putting out a fire left behind by Ryjack as the Rangers arrive on the scene. Chaku informs the team that Ryjack made off with gallons of Morphex, but even though he's working for Evox, Ryjack's true goal is to steal the Ranger weapons. The captain goes on to say that G5 Galaxy Police are sending his battleship, the Reptila Beast, which Steel is stoked for. Commander Shaw thanks Chaku for all the help he's given the Rangers and offers him a position at Grid Battle Force once Ryjack is defeated. The captain hesitates because Earth is so far from his home galaxy, but ultimately agrees to join GB's ranks for the greater good.
The Greater Good.
At the fortress, Ryjack video chats with the rest of the evil gang of villains and shows them that he's currently underneath Grid Battle Force to get to the vault. Blazebot and Roborox are both pissed they weren't thanked for telling Ryjack where to dig, but Evox doesn't care about that as long as the monster's making progress. Evox says he still plans to betray Ryjack and take the Ranger weapons for himself before needing a round of Morphex infusion to keep him steady. At GB, Ben and Betty help Captain Chaku move into his new living quarters, only to be eaten and spit out by Chaku's alien plant. Anyway, Nate walks by Chaku's room and sees the captain talking to his daughter, Starlight. This is apparently big news since Nate tells the other Rangers about it.
Chaku has a daughter? Kinda thought he was a robot.
Hey, people can be both.
So, does she look like him?
You mean, does she wear a shiny Galaxy Police helmet? No. She's just a little girl.
Yeah, Ravi, what kind of question is that? It's not like beings from other galaxies have children that look exactly like them. Okay, point taken. The Rangers wonder why Chaku agreed to join GB if he has a daughter so far away, but before they can continue the conversation, Jax hears something going on underneath the ground. The team determines that Ryjack is trying to dig his way into the vault and grab Chaku to investigate. Sure enough, the Rangers find and blast all of Ryjack's minions before the monster and Chaku exchange words and the fight begins. Eventually, the good guys knock Ryjack down, but he teleports away, so the team heads above ground to talk to Shaw about getting Ryjack's tunnel filled. While the other Rangers go to talk to the commander, Nate takes Chaku aside and asks about his daughter. Chaku says he didn't bring up his family because it wasn't relevant, and that while he may miss his family, he has a mission to fulfill. Nate tells Chaku that he understands what his daughter's going through because his parents have worked overseas through most of his life, and he wishes every day that they'd visit more. Unfortunately, Chaku explains that going home is no longer an option for him, thanks to the cybernetic enhancements given to him by G5 Galaxy Police that have rendered him less than human. Nate tries to convince Chaku that his new look won't matter to his daughter, but Chaku refuses to believe that and leaves. Back at the fortress, Evox tells Ryjack that they could help the monster defeat the Rangers if they had access to his weapon collection, but Ryjack says the weapons will stay on his ship, which is securely on Earth. So that would imply the fortress isn't on Earth, huh? Interesting. Now that they know where Ryjack's ship is, Evox goads the monster into facing the Rangers once again, knowing that this time the Rangers will be victorious. Soon, GB gets alerted to Ryjack's location, and the Rangers meet the monster on a random rooftop. After the Rangers morph into action, Ryjack tries to summon more clones with his reanimizer, but Chaku quickly knocks the weapon out of his hand. The Rangers make quick work to disarm Ryjack, but the monster has one more trick up his sleeve.
I've been saving one of my favourites for a special occasion. I found this gizmo in the ruins of Andrasia. Stand back!
Damn, the Andrasians had Magna Beam technology and still fell to the Armada? That's crazy. While the Rangers go to Zord up, Scruzzle secretly grabs Ryjack's reanimizer before teleporting away. Once the Rangers get back on the field, they get absolutely pummeled by Ryjack to the point where they're almost down for the count. But luckily, Chaku's Reptilebeast arrives just in time to turn the tide in the fight. From there, the Rangers use their tried and true crushing technique before finally eliminating Ryjack. After the fight, Captain Chaku is ready to join GB, but before he can, Nate reveals that he can use the neural aligners that gave the Rangers their powers to turn Chaku back into a human by loading the device with human DNA. The process works wonders and even gives Chaku a new outfit before he thanks the team for helping him. The good vibes don't stop there, however, as Chaku hugs Nate after assuring the Gold Ranger that his parents miss him too. Chaku then asks if there's anything else he can do for the Rangers, and we get one more great steal line before Chaku teleports away. Later, Ben and Betty show the team that Chaku's plant he let them keep eats garbage and even spits out recyclables before puking on them. Fantastic. Nate then gets an incoming message from Captain Chaku, and the episode ends with Starlight thanking the Rangers for bringing her dad home. Aww. This episode is good, all things considered. It's not as packed as the last few episodes have been in terms of Ranger lore, but the story is still good. The basic Ranger plot is the same, with the team still trying to stop Ryjack from breaking into the vault, but the subplot is where the heart of the episode is. Here we have Captain Chaku revealing all the baggage associated with his family, and Nate trying to help him through that because he relates to the situation. It's been a while since the show brought up how lonely Nate feels without his parents around, mostly because Steel is now there to pick up the slack. Hell, when this plot point was introduced, I was under the impression that Dr. K and Ziggy were going to be revealed as Nate's parents, but when Dr. K showed up a few episodes ago from her own dimension, it was clear that wasn't the case. However, I never would have guessed that this show would take a side character that was a one-shot from the Sentai and use him to explore how Nate still misses his family and wants to see them more. That said, the focus of this plot remains on Captain Chaku, who doesn't feel like his family will accept him since he's more machine now than man. This detail goes a long way in making Chaku a sympathetic character, given the short amount of screen time he has. Sure, he was in the last episode, but he couldn't communicate through most of it. In fact, thinking back on it, Chaku didn't speak English when he arrived at GB, yet his daughter speaks perfect English. I'm sure there's an explanation for this. Hell, most of you likely have one by this point, but my headcanon is that Chaku is native to an English-speaking planet, but has been away from home for so long that he's stopped using English as his primary language. The villain stuff here was also decent. I like Blazebot and Roborox getting jealous of Ryjack, but the scene of Evox goading Ryjack into having a final battle with the Rangers was a little copy and paste for this show. It plays out exactly how similar scenes did in Ninja Steel and Megaforce. You can't beat the Rangers. What are you talking about? Of course I can. Bullshit. Fuck you, I'm going to beat the Rangers. Heh, all part of my plan. However, for what it's worth, I enjoyed the final action sequence. It was neat to see Ryjack pull out a device that allows him to grow, since Evox doesn't have the tech to do that. It also led to the introduction of the Reptilebeast, which is cool even though we might not see it again. Bonus points for having Ryjack's growth bomb come from Andrasia, because in hindsight it makes the Armada that much more threatening, implying that the Andrasians had similar technology that the Rangers had to fight the Armada and still died. This is usually the point where I speculate on Orion's Morpher, and if Andrasia had its own team of Power Rangers, but I will spare all of you that because this is a Beast Morphers review. Overall, this episode was a decent end to the two-parter. It's much more heartfelt than I was expecting, and the action sequences balance out the tone well. Personally, I could have gone without the Ben and Betty scenes, not saying they didn't get a chuckle out of me, but I just wish the setup was less random. Still, this episode has everything you could want without turning into a mess, and for that, I recommend it. I'm Nick, aka IronBet1993, and may the power protect you. Oh shit, I forgot about the rule of 3. The greater good.
Shut it!